Welcome to today's Explainer. We are taking your daily caffeine fix and turning it into a full-blown cultural journey. We're going to decode exactly what goes into your favorite cup, exploring the fascinating history, the incredibly precise science, and those amazing local innovations that shape the global coffee menu we all know and love.
Okay, let's just jump right into this really beautiful philosophy, straight from our source material. This quote perfectly hits the nail on the head regarding our modern relationship with coffee. I mean, it has completely evolved from being just a utilitarian wake-up juice to this profound method of self-expression and social connection. It's not just about getting energy anymore, it's a lifestyle, and every single cup tells a highly personal story.
So here is our menu for today's Explainer. First, coffee, more than just a drink. 2. Classic roots, the espresso family. 3. Local and global brewing traditions. 4. The evolution of modern coffee trends. And finally, a cup of coffee that unites us.
All right, kicking things off with section 1, coffee, more than just a drink. Coffee's journey is honestly incredible. It's like it's spread like wildfire. It first gained massive popularity over in the Middle East, and then made its way to Europe, where it rapidly adapted to local tastes. From there, it just exploded across the entire globe, evolving into the wonderfully diverse modern culture we see today. Literally everywhere it went, people found a brand new way to love it. Moving right along to section 2, classic roots, the espresso family.
Now, here's an absolute game changer. The crucial thing to understand is that espresso isn't just a drink on its own. It's actually a specific high-pressure extraction method. That thick, black liquid acts as this robust, intense canvas for pretty much the entire rest of the cafe menu.
You know when you look behind the counter and the barista looks like a mad scientist pulling levers? Well, these precise steps reveal the absolute science behind pulling that perfect shot. You need 18 to 20 grams of finely ground coffee, exactly 30 milliliters of hot water hitting a sweet spot of 90 to 95 degrees Celsius, and an extraction time of roughly 25 to 30 seconds. It is a meticulous chemistry experiment, and the result? Pure liquid gold. Take a look at the classic cappuccino. It is visually perfect. A beautifully balanced 3-part harmony. You've got exactly 33% intense espresso, 33% hot milk, and 33% of that thick, satisfying milk foam, equal thirds, just perfectly structured. But contrast that with the cafe latte. This drink leans heavily on creamy, hot milk. We're talking 75%, about 150 milliliters of it, dominating the cup. And it's topped with just a 10% touch of thin microfoam. It's a much softer, gentler experience on the palate. So, to settle the ultimate cafe debate once and for all, it's not just about the thickness of the foam, it's about their original Italian cultural contexts. Over in Italy, that robust, frothy cappuccino is strictly a morning drink to jumpstart your day. Honestly, order one after 11 a.m. and you are for sure going to get some funny looks from the locals. The smoother coffee latte, though, that's your preferred comforting companion for casual afternoon chats. From there, it's basically a giant mix and match game, modifying that base espresso. You add hot water, boom, you get a lighter Americano. Adjust the milk for less foam, and you create the flat white, which actually originated in Australia, bringing a much stronger coffee taste. Add just a tiny spot of foam for a macchiato, or throw in chocolate syrup or powder to create the rich, sweet mocha. The espresso is literally just the starting line.
All right, let's dive into section 3, local and global brewing traditions.
It is absolutely fascinating to see how the rest of the world adapts coffee. In France, you've got the classic café au lait. In Vietnam, they mix this incredibly strong coffee with sweet condensed milk and ice for the famous café soda. And in Turkey, they serve it completely unfiltered, which gives it this distinctively thick texture and a really bold, rich taste. And over in Indonesia, they have a beautifully simple method creating what's called kopi tubruk. You literally brew the coffee directly with its grounds right in the glass. Pour 200 mils of boiling water over 2 tablespoons of coffee and sugar, stir it up, and just wait for the grounds to settle at the bottom. It preserves this deeply authentic, robust taste that, frankly, modern espresso machines struggle to replicate. And of course, that traditional kopi tubruk is best enjoyed using Indonesia's world-renowned regional beans. We're talking beans like Aceh Gayo, Toraja, and Bali Kintamani. Each one offers its own distinct, highly localized flavor profile, and they're now being celebrated by baristas all over the globe. Let's fast forward a bit to section 4, the evolution of modern coffee trends. Let's talk cold brew.
If you want something remarkably smooth and way less acidic than regular iced coffee, the secret isn't heat, it's temperature and patience. Actually, scratch that. It's strictly cold water and a 12 to 18-hour steeping process in the fridge. This cold extraction pulls out totally different flavor compounds, completely skipping the bitter oils and leaving you with an incredibly smooth finish.
Now check out these two massive youth favorites going head-to-head in the modern market. On one side, you have the globally beloved blended Frappuccino, which is packed with cold milk, sweet syrup, and whipped cream. On the other side, you've got Indonesia's booming local innovation, es kopi susu gula aren. This local champion mixes espresso with fresh milk and, crucially, local palm sugar. The big takeaway here, never underestimate the power of local flavor. Just the simple addition of traditional palm sugar, gula aren, literally transformed a standard iced latte into an absolute cultural phenomenon. It proves that combining high-quality espresso with local heritage can spark massive, youth-driven lifestyle trends. And that brings us to our final stop, Section 5, a cup of coffee that unites us. Today, coffee is doing so much more than just keeping us awake. It inspires the aesthetics of those incredible cafe spaces we love. It acts as the centerpiece for our social media feeds. And honestly, it bridges the gap between generations. It utilizes high-quality beans and all this new technology, yet its core purpose remains completely unchanged, uniting people over simple pleasures.
So, after exploring all these rich cultural traditions, the exact science behind the milk ratios, and those sweet localized trends, I want to leave you with a final thought to chew on, or sip on, the next time you head to your local cafe. With all these incredible options for self-expression, which coffee best represents you today? Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.